Welcome back to another action packed episode of the Deadly Podcast of Kung Fu, brought to you by the Villains Man, where myself, Justin Raymer, attempts to traverse the world of Iron Fist, Shang-Chi, and the White Tiger. If you want to follow the podcast on social media, you can do so over on platforms Twitter, X, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky. If you want to follow myself, Justin Raymer, you can do so over on Twitter, X, Instagram, and Blue Sky as well. Now, today we are covering hot off the presses the thing us Danny Rand fans have been waiting for forever, the immortal Iron Fist #1. Now, this book is great. I loved it, but I cannot cover such epicness by myself. So I pulled in a fellow Iron Fist fan, a good friend of the podcast, Omar, the man behind the I Am Iron Fist blog. How's it going today, good sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Justin. Thank you for having me. I think Justin meant the Undead Iron Fist #1, not Immortal Iron
Did I say,
Fist
oh my God,
number
yeah.
one.
Man, look,
Yeah, just
I've
to
been.
make sure.
Yeah, you are right. Like I said, I'm pretty excited about this. I
Yeah,
I
me
read
too.
I read all of Immortal Iron Fist in about 3 days. Just to
Oh my.
yes, right before this book come out. I
All
just
27 issues?
yes,
Okay,
I'm a
okay.
fast reader, man. And then
Okay.
let's see. Yesterday I was reading Immortal Iron Fist number
Mm-hmm.
two with Pay. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. And this is the power of
Mm.
editing, but I'm not going to edit any of that. so
That's fine.
so Omar, man, let
Yeah.
everybody. Okay, clearly most people that follow the podcast know you. They're always posting everything.
I
They
hope.
share your
Yeah.
stuff on social medias.
Mm,
But for those
mhm.
that don't, let them know what you do and where they can find you.
Okay, first, so I have my blog. So it's iamironfist.com. So that started everything for me. I needed some place to vent my frustrations with a certain TV show on Iron Fist. I needed the place to let out my thoughts and also to introduce myself as an Iron Fist fan. Tell people that Iron Fist is really cool. So I had that blog up since 2018, and then I started the Facebook page, an Instagram, and then Twitter. Also, Threads. I also have Threads. So it's either I am Iron Fist or at I am Iron Fist 23. Because apparently some people already took that name, I am Iron Fist, an account either on X or somewhere else. So it's either at I am Iron Fist or at I am Iron Fist 23. And I'm also part of a podcast. It's the Immortal Iron Fist podcast, Sons of the Dragon, with Connor, Rebecca, Carl, and we also have Emma joining us, who's also a huge Iron Fist fan.
So your podcast, I know it's on YouTube. Is that the only place you guys put that out at?
No, it's also on SoundCloud.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't remember the others because those are the only two that I'm able to listen to our podcast. We also have Apple.
Okay, cool. See, I just listen on YouTube, and I guess I'm gonna have
Hmm.
to find this on Apple now. So, because that's where I listen to
I
mostly
think
everything.
because I don't I'm just not listening to our podcast anywhere else. So I think we have one or two more.
We were talking before the podcast and everything, because it is super early here in America and it is the
Hmm.
evening over there in the Philippines. So
Yeah.
I am super tired, but I really wanted to do this. But man, we were talking about your history
Sure.
with the character and everything. Before we get started, if you don't mind, give everybody a brief experience with your history with the character and how you came
Hmm.
about loving Danny Rand like the rest of us.
It was back in 1983, I think. Um, my dad used to buy me comic books every Friday. So he would come home from work on Fridays and he would always bring home at least five comic books from the grocery store, believe it or not. So we used to have comic books in grocery stores here as well. So they were local prints of American comic books. And Since I was a fan of Bruce Lee and I loved martial arts, we would watch uh, Bruce Lee on Betamax all the time. Uh, Jackie Chan as well. We were fans. My family, my dad, my brother, and myself. We would watch kung fu movies all the time. We loved this ninja TV show back then with Mr. Miyagi, actor. He was there. Um, so I loved kung fu and I love superheroes as well. I would buy comic. My dad would buy me the comic books. I would watch Super Friends. I would watch um, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends whenever it's on. So the combination of superheroes and kung fu, my love for kung fu and superheroes, they just uh, got together and made me a fan of Iron Fist. My dad bought me an Iron Fist comic, even though he did not know who Iron Fist was. So it was either Iron Fist number three or Iron Fist number six, but I really think it's number three. So when when I would open the first page of an Iron Fist comic, so I had three Iron Fist comics back then. It's always a stunner because it's by John Byrne, and the story is also a really cool story from Chris Claremont. So the combination of the art, the story, and the character made me a huge fan of Danny Rand. And ever since then, um, whenever I would find a comic book with Iron Fist in it. So back then, because I was 9 years old, 10, I didn't have that much of a budget. The American comic books, American versions of the comic books that I was reading, they were pretty expensive on a 9-year-old's lunch
Oh, I completely understand.
budget. So my dad would just buy me the local comic books, but my Iron Fist experience wasn't really that complete because I couldn't buy monthly issues. So whenever Iron Fist would come into, well, I would find it in a comic shop or in the grocery store. I would buy it, and I didn't really even realize that he was my favorite character until until I found a copy of my of Iron Fist number three again, um, just probably 10, 11 years ago. And I remember just flipping through the pages, and then it just dawned on me that, I would always look for um, Iron Fist, or I would always get excited for an Iron Fist comic, no matter uh, when I would see it. Like for example, he was dead for a while after Power Man and Iron Fist, and then when I found out that he would appear in Spider-Man for 3 issues with Terry Cavanagh, I think, and Jay Lee, I bought all 3 issues, even though I wasn't um, buying the Spider-Man title at the time, and then I stopped after those 3 issues. When Immortal Iron Fist came out, I said I was going to buy it when it comes out. And so there was just that connection with Danny Rand that I didn't even realize was there until, I got because I lost my copy of Iron Fist number three, the one with Byrne and Claremont. And when I got that copy again from a friend, it just brought so many wonderful memories. And I said, I think uh I'm gonna be focusing on Iron Fist from here on out.
And now look
So
at
that's
you.
been the journey. Yes.
Hey,
Kind of
everybody.
crazy about Danny Rand Iron Fist.
How aren't we all? Like, we have been waiting for this day for a whole year.
Oh man, yeah. Yeah, you too. I mean, yeah, I see your posts. I see how excited you are. We see everybody's frustrations when he's not the Iron Fist. So, been waiting for this for a while. Thank you, Marvel, for doing this now,
Yeah,
for bringing it back.
finally. I mean, we're talking about venting frustrations, and then our friend over on Twitter that goes by
Mm.
Rand's Iron
Oh yeah.
almost a whole year of daily Dannies
Oh yeah.
going
Yeah.
through
He
the
does that.
history of Dan, every day posting it. And then he did
Mm,
what was that? A post every day until Undead Iron Fist. And
mm.
and now
And
they're
now,
gonna beat themselves up, right? And then do it until
yeah.
issue 2 drops. And I'm like, what are you doing? Why put yourself through? But I guess it's a little bit more manageable now, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
I
not so
mean, at
bad.
least you're excited
Yeah.
posting it now. Unlike before, he was just posting until something comes up that has Danny in it.
Yeah, it's more like because of frustration than it was anything.
Mm,
Because we were already
mm,
frustrated with the QR code on that 50th anniversary issue,
that's
and
right.
then
Yeah.
but yeah, salute to Rand's Iron because that was pretty
Yeah.
impressive every day. And like
Yeah.
I'd said, that
Looking
was
for a panel. Yeah.
hmm and
Share every day.
and then that's also something that's out there on the internet, helping build up the algorithm that anytime you would search
Mm,
for Danny Rand or Iron Fist, that post
mm.
on Twitter would be there. So,
Yes.
putting in the work, and hey, now here we are finally.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but let's go ahead and dive into this. The first thing I want to touch on
Yeah.
is the cover. When it was
Yeah.
revealed, and we're not really sure if it's a dragon that's on the back when we first got it. So when we had the first
Yeah.
reveal of cover A, what did you think?
Wow. It was really just wow. I mean, the colors pop. Um, of course, it's by Alex Sinclair. The Jim Lee's colorist, practically. Whenever he's on a book, Alex Sinclair is the colorist almost every time. So the colors popped. I love the contrast because you can see uh, Undead Iron Fist there right in the middle, but then you also see the dragon at the back. And of course, it's by Will Portacio. Um, I've loved this work since he was doing the X-Men and Punisher back in the 80s. So it's just beautiful. And looking at the design, that metallic armor by Danny here, it's just amazing. I really love it.
So
It's my favorite from all four.
it is my favorite as well. I really because it tells you a
Yeah.
lot about the issue. Now when this
Mm.
first came out, there was this whole back and forth like, is it a demon or is it a dragon in the back? Because we
Oh
had the
yeah,
whole,
yeah.
the chin lead. Did you think it was a dragon right off the bat?
No, I didn't think it was a dragon at all. It looked more like just another beast, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought. Like, maybe it was one of these demons that he'd been battling pretty much
Yeah,
since
yeah,
the
something
Eighth
like
City.
that.
You know what I mean? Back in Immortal
Uh-huh.
Iron Fist. So
Yeah, it because it's in green, you didn't even know it was going to be white when you saw it in the inside pages.
no, no, not at all. And yeah, that's what kind of really took me back when you get to that page when they revealed it. Like, whoa, this
Mm,
thing is not remotely green at all. It's like ghost white, almost like a phantom in a way, which
yeah.
gives me a lot gives me a lot of questions based on this whole book.
Mm,
But let's go ahead and dive into the issue, and I'll guide us through page by page, and we'll talk about everything. So,
okay.
in the opening page, which is very heartbreaking, we see
Oh
that
yeah.
Luke Cage, busy with his daily routine as the mayor, has not had a whole lot of time to visit
Hmm.
Danny Rand's
Hmm.
grave. And we see him break down in tears until
Hmm.
the shock and surprise of Danny Rand perfectly digging a 6 foot rectangular grave out and
Hmm.
escaping.
Yeah.
This like I used to not be an emotional person until I had kids. I think that's maybe every parent. And
Hmm.
this really pulled at my heartstrings seeing this because, like when we got the preview pages, we didn't get page one, we got page two. And I thought the
Hmm.
page one was a really good lead into page two.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
It's
given,
it's really heartbreaking for, best friend. They've been around through so many adventures together, and just the fact that this is your best friend who you named your daughter after,
Yeah.
uh, it's really going to be heartbreaking, definitely. And even months later, it's not gonna be easy.
No, it's not easy. I mean, I don't know if you can speak to it. I lost a friend at a very young age, very tragically, and it takes a
Mm.
long time to move on from such a
Oh yeah.
thing. So, and then, like I said, Danny Rand dug himself perfectly, symmetrically out of the. And I remember saying, I would say "Sweet Christmas" too if I seen that. You know what I mean?
That's true. I didn't even think about that until now. You mentioned it. Yeah, unless it's a coffin and then, somebody helping it out. But yeah, that's true. And,
So
and to think that in the QR code for the 50th anniversary, he just punched
punches, yeah.
his way out, and now it's a perfectly rectangular opening.
Hey, maybe it's
It's
part of
great.
this new power set, and he's able to do that.
Yeah, yeah, maybe.
Okay, so then the next page we got is we see Danny walking around the Lower East Side to some apartments, which is in the preview pages we
Mm,
got. It's we get a taste of these new powers, which we do see him like he's barely shaded into the panel, which soon he turns invisible, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, and also before that panel, the part where he's walking on that bridge, I think just his hand at the back of his head, right there, and while he's walking, makes it feel like he just got up from the grave.
Yeah,
Like he
he's
wasn't even sure what he's doing, why he's walking, where he's going to. So that is a very interesting way that the artist Fran Galan did it. So I like that. That's a very great, very good detail that you put in there.
or as I like to call him, Fron Galactus because that's Galactus's real name. So,
Oh yeah,
so I
that's
always
good.
call
That's
him,
good.
yeah,
That's
I
good.
always call him Fron Galactus. So
Fran Galactus. He'd love that, I'm sure.
I bet he would too. And then we get the tease to the new branding on the
Mm,
chest. Let's go ahead and talk
yeah.
about that. Any clue what you think this might be at this time on issue one? Because we're only
Okay.
seeing it like center mass on his chest. We don't really get to see what we're going to assume his wings, expand
Hmm.
out to. Any
Okay.
guesses?
Um, the thing is, I don't think I'm the right person to ask because I already know what it is.
Go ahead.
and I and I can't tell anybody what it is because it's going to be revealed in the next few issues.
Oh
So
man,
yeah, I was privy to something and then found out what it is, but I can't say what it is. But
you're killing me.
if I were if I were if this was my first time seeing it, uh I'd say I would have said the Eye of Agamotto, but the problem
That's
is it looks like it has wings.
yeah. We'll
So
see. I could see that in the center because it does look like an eye.
yeah, yeah,
And I had
really does.
later on I'll get to some stuff where I kind of thought, but
Mhm.
an eye has a lot to do with it. So we continue and we're getting these previews pages, and as we knock them out in the beginning of the book, then we got to kind of see him full frontal, standing very defiantly, very soft as he's looking up at this possessed family in the apartment. We get a really good shot of that arm that's armored up. And a lot of people first was like, oh, it's a dragon. I thought like, hey, that's like a hawk or something, and then they kind of confirmed that it
Mm,
is a
yeah.
falcon. So, and I thought that was kind of telling. Anything
Oh,
you could,
it's an eagle. It's an
yeah,
eagle.
okay, yeah, but yeah, it was a bird of prey, which I don't,
Yes.
yeah, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Um, and then we go back to several months ago, as Danny is in
Mhm.
the underworld, and I thought that was a very good way to put it. It doesn't necessarily say the hells; it says
Mhm.
the underworld. And our friend Kim over on Instagram, and well, she's on Blue Sky as well. When
This guy, yeah.
we was talking about that when these preview pages come out, and that's one of the things I said. I was like, it's interesting seeing the hero climb out of the underworld, because I don't think it's hell, it's the underworld. Because when you
Mm-hmm,
say underworld, you can it makes it more vague. You're not so direct on where you're talking about. She's like, I didn't even
yeah,
think about it like that because in a lot of mythology, you can literally climb out of the underworld to return to life,
yeah, yeah.
and I thought that was really cool.
My recent Iron Fist Friday post, um, I mentioned that the land of the dead for
Mm-hmm.
Iron Fists and other Kunlunians is Feng Tu, which was introduced in Deadly Hands of Kung Fu by Chris Claremont and Rudy Nebres.
Oh, and the
And
breast.
if I were to guess which underworld this is, then it should be Feng Tu. Um, one of our Iron Fist followers and fan pointed out in the Iron Fist, the
It's
living
a living
weapon by
weapon,
Gary
yeah.
Andrews. Yeah, he mentioned it was there was another underworld that he went to, which was DU, and his mom was there, even though it was in Feng Tu, where he saw his mom the first time after she passed away as Silver, and she became Silver Dragon there. So she was in Feng Tu. So I said, maybe it's the one from Living Weapon is quite new, um, the introduction of DU. So I just went with Feng Tu for that Iron Fist Friday post. So I think if Jason Lu were to um, share which underworld this was, it might be Feng Tu, unless he changed it up because of uh, Immortal Iron Fist. Maybe he wanted to use a connection there. So it could be something else.
Well, and the thing is, you mentioned Fang Tu there in Deadly
Mhm.
Hands of Kung Fu. There, when he fights Heather on it, what is that? I think like the Bridge of Pain, Bridge of Sorrow, whatever it is.
Yeah,
Like you
something like that.
see how massive that the underworld is at that time
Oh
because
yeah,
they're over the river. There's a dragon in the river. There's mountains in the background. And then what I think in Chinese mythology there's like 18 layers of hell or of the sort. So I mean, it could
oh my
all
gosh.
be like the same. Well,
Yeah,
like
different
the
layers.
yeah, like the DU, when you look up in Chinese, like, lore and whatnot, that's what hell comes up as. I think it's a big combination of things because, like, with the living weapon issue, like when he beats the Yama there, I mean, he even mentions his mom. She shows up, there's the wolves and everything. So it's
Yeah.
almost like the connection is there, and it might just be
Mhm.
a different name, or maybe just people in Kunlun, since they're a pocket dimension, have a different
Yeah.
name for it.
True, true.
So, I mean, because think about it. I mean, in our world, we have all these religions, and a lot of
Mhm.
times you can connect things. There's just different names. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Especially when you
yeah,
get to like Europe, all the if you go to like Europe and Northern Africa, like when you start getting with Greek gods and Norse gods, like a lot of them are
yeah.
the same. They're just named different.
Named differently. Yeah, yeah. And
So
especially if you go from one region to the other, if they're bunched up together, they have very similar mythologies.
mhm.
They just have minor differences between each of their deities and the places that they call heaven or hell. Same thing with, well, if you go to Europe and the Americas,
Especially like with
different
Native
ways.
American culture and whatnot, yeah. Because
Hmm.
all your
Yeah,
different tribes, they all their deities are basically the same. They're just named differently.
named differently. Yeah.
So, and then we go to the next page where we get basically this white dragon, which we brought up is not green at all. It's a
Hmm.
ghostly white, and Danny
Yeah.
looks shocked to see it. Okay, you've already let the cat out of the bag. You know what's on the chest. Do you know what dragon
Hmm.
this is too? You're gonna hide that from us as
No.
well.
No, this one I'm not. I have no idea what it is. So it could be connected, but I didn't want to study too much about it. I wanted the suspense. So It's okay to, sometimes get certain information out, and then you get to keep that information, but I don't want to dive too much into it because I'd like to be like the reader who um finds out what happens. I want to be surprised as much as
Oh,
possible.
I
So
agree.
this dragon, I don't know, is very pale. I'm not very familiar with pale dragons in mythology. But it's it looks very different from Shaolao. Might be from a different mythology.
So see,
So maybe.
that's what I was kind of figuring because I know in Chinese mythology they're like
Mhm.
a color of a dragon usually means something, and the color
Mhm.
white is with death and rebirth, which is kind of what we're dealing with here.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, it
Yeah,
might be
so
about rebirth. Yeah.
yeah. Don't hold me to that, but I know it's
It's okay.
really really close to that. I've been really digging into stuff. I can't help myself. I want to be a writer, so it's easy to
Mm,
kind of dig into stuff. Yeah, I've tried to
nice.
get a comic off the ground with two different companies here in the last couple of years, so totally different story.
Mm,
Um,
okay.
Anyway, so we swing to the next page. The dragon whips Danny with its tail. He falls
Mhm.
off the cliff, and I like the transition that this makes to the real world as he's been knocked
Mhm.
down the stairs from the apartment to,
Yeah.
by the, which we're going to find out are not really Chilin, but are
Mhm.
Chilin, as we switch to the
Yeah.
page. Um, so I thought this was very, I think this family is very creepy. It's very Evil
Yeah.
Deadish to me.
Mhm.
So just their manners, the way that they position themselves, and
Yeah.
I kind of wonder if maybe that's some inspiration for how they are, except for we get to the kung fuing with them.
Mhm.
Um, to me, I kind of find that hilarious because as a big fan of Ash Williams and the whole Evil Dead franchise, I want to
Oh.
see martial arts deadites.
So you got it here.
Yeah, I do have it here, and I will take it. So, and this is where
Yeah.
things get really interesting. So, I'm going to read the
Mm,
dialogue real fast. You
okay.
know them as the turtle beasts
Mhm.
that hunt down Kunlun's lineage of illustrious warriors. You want to and end every single one of them. I've granted you power to do just that. Expel them from their human host. So we're learning now that
Yeah.
obviously his patron, as I'm going to put it in RPG terms,
Mm,
is seems like it's new. Obviously,
yeah.
we do have the power of invisibility. The chi's different, and the first thing a lot of us thought when we
Yeah.
seen this chi was Phantom Limb or
Yeah.
maybe still
Exactly.
Phoenix when Davos was still Phoenix with the
Oh
purple
yeah. Yeah.
chi. Uh,
Mhm.
Now you already gave us some clues that something's going on. Any insight that you can give us here, or maybe a guess if you don't know?
This one, I have no idea. Why it's purple. Might be related to whoever brought him to life, but I think it's just there to be might just be there to be different. I'm not sure. But it did remind me of Phantom Limb as well, although it wasn't the first thing that I thought of. It took a while before when I saw somebody mention Phantom Limb, and I said, "Oh yeah, absolutely." Yeah, it does look like the hand that he lost in Phantom Limb. So for those who are listening, who don't know what Phantom Limb is, so it's an Iron Fist digital only release. So you won't find it uh in floppies, but you will find it in TPB form or digital. So that kind of felt like a Phantom Limb nod, so we don't know if there's going to be a connection to that one as well. But it's a very good guess, I would say. Not sure if it's again related to what I know about that brand
Man,
that we see
you're killing me, man.
Danny's having now.
You're killing me. That you got that smile like, yeah, I know things, and you're killing me,
Yeah,
dude.
it's just one thing that I know, but I didn't even want to find out more about it. So
Yeah,
just one thing. That's
like
fine.
Like I want to know, but I don't want to know because I like the suspense that we've got going
Oh
on.
yeah. Hell yeah, yeah.
And then
Absolutely.
then the narration from this unknown patron, do what you must to fulfill your revenge. Pay no mind to what the mortals think. They do not know of your silent mission. And to me,
Mm,
Jason Lowe, this is where he said, like, it's very much like the raid. And to me, this is where that part kicks in because this
yeah,
gets
yeah.
pretty fast paced at this part of
Mm,
the story. And to me,
yeah.
I kind of thought this was surprising to me that seeing what's happened to Danny Rand last year and knowing that he's come back, that he would not be so scared of the public
Mm-hmm.
knowing what he's going on. And I thought that was kind of a bold move. What did you think about that?
Yeah. You mean bringing him back?
Well, no,
Uh,
like him
for
just like being so reckless as to what he's doing. Like
okay.
like he's fighting this family out in the public, knowing that he's in New
Mm,
York City and that it's going to draw the attention of
yeah, of
everybody,
people.
you
Yeah.
know. Yeah. What did you think about him just going that route?
I think for one, Danny being ultra serious and having a mission, I think that's really cool. And I just think that it was a nod in a way to I mean the revenge part right there where he says do what you must to fulfill your revenge. I think it's a very cool nod to Roy Thomas and Gil Kane's story from when he first appeared, because he came back to Earth from Kunlun the first time, um, on a revenge mission, and now coming back from the dead here, he's on another revenge mission. So I think he's just like what he did when he came back from Kunlun the first time. Uh, he was kicking people's behinds on the street and not worrying about what people would think about it.
I didn't even
I
make
think
that
it's very
connection.
similar to that.
Yeah, I didn't
Oh,
even
yeah.
make that connection. That's actually really good because because I didn't
Yeah.
think about that because when he comes to New York, he doesn't even
Mm.
think about like being in his gi or anything like that,
Yeah. He's
and
not
he's
even
just
hiding.
no, yeah, because like when he fights Scythe there in issue 16, like there's a
Yeah.
gang around, there's people sitting around, and he's just fighting them off. I didn't even make that connection. That's actually a really good connection.
Yeah, yeah, it is very similar. So I think it may be Jason Liu's way of uh like a callback to how Roy Thomas started Iron Fist, so which is really cool. Whether that's intentional or not, it's still really good. And the fact that he was doing a second person narration here, and
Hmm.
that's how Iron Fist started. I just love that. I love reading Iron Fist comics in the second person.
So then we go to the next page where we get the reveal that he can see people that are possessed for who they really are, which is
Yeah,
the Chi Lin and
yeah.
the daughter, I'm going to assume here, or maybe the wife compared
Hmm.
to the husband over there. That looks like the husband from Modern Family with a mustache. Um, I can't think
That's
of his
true.
name. Yeah, I mean, the guy that played Doc
Yeah.
Samson in the Hulk movie. I can't think of his name. He cracks me up. She
Yeah.
says, he says the Chilin. She's like, that was the ancient name for killing you
Hmm.
iron fools. We hunt mischievous spirits. Now we are the Wraithlins. So, how did you feel about that? That we went from one Chilin to almost like a group of them, and it's not the first time. But
Mm.
what would you make of that?
I don't even remember seeing more than one Chilin.
Well, I
Uh,
had read, like I said, I was reading Mortal Iron Fist again with
mm,
Pei, and the
mhm.
demon Mara that gets resurrected turns a bunch of people into Chilin.
I see. Okay, yeah.
And
I
I'd
don't even
forgot all
remember
about
that.
that. Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
didn't
cool.
either until I was just reading that
That's
the
cool.
yesterday. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
we
because
should go
caught
back
me
to
off
read
guard.
stuff. Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting.
And the name change though, to Wraithlings. Um, I'm not very sure how I feel about it, changing them from Chilean to Wraithlings.
Same.
Unless there's a reason, there's a huge reason for the name change. If it's absolutely necessary, then I'm fine with it. And we might find out later on. But if there was no reason for it in the story why they had to change their name, then I wouldn't like it.
So I have a theory because I feel the same
Hmm.
way. So
Okay.
when I read this and it's like the Chilin, I'm like, okay, there's
Hmm.
one Chilin. He's the whole
Yeah.
reason we're here. I
Yeah.
don't like this. And then through my rereads, and then I was like, oh, I completely forgot this happened in the Immortal Iron Fist. I think it's issue 5 when that happens. It's very minor. And they look
Hmm.
more like dogmen. I don't want to say werewolves and anything because they're very hairy. And then, they
Hmm.
look nothing like, and these Chilin, even that we see, they don't even look like the Chilin that we know.
That we know. Yeah.
Yeah. So my thought was like, I'm like you. I'm not big on this. Why are we changing the name? Why are we adding more of them when the one
Hmm.
was just a big enough threat? You know what I mean? Like this dude was
That's true.
manhandling Luke Cage.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
So my thought was, okay, we go from Chi-Lin to Wraithlins. So my
Hmm.
and like I said, I was looking through mythology. I couldn't find anything that's relatable to Qilin in mythology that I
Hmm.
just couldn't. But I got to thinking Qilin, Shao Lao Qi, they were feeding on the chi of the dragon. That was their whole thing. They wanted to eat the eggs, but now they're
Yeah.
Wraithlins. You
Hmm.
could consider Danny a wraith in a way, even though he's not
Ah.
immaterial.
Yeah.
He's not
Hmm.
immaterial, but he's out for vengeance. He's rose from the grave, so maybe it's
Hmm.
almost like a mockery in a way. Like, oh, we were the Chilin first because we were after your chi, but now that you're
Hmm.
this undead spirit returned
You're
to
a
life,
wraith.
we're after
Uh-huh.
you.
Or
So
after
it's
you.
almost like they're
Yeah.
mocking
Interesting.
him.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, yeah. He might be they may be after him because he's a wraith now.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's really what he is. So yeah, I didn't make that connection too. So really
Yeah,
cool, really cool.
yeah, that was kind of the first thing I thought. I was like, interesting. So then we go to the next page where I love this how Galactus
Mm.
draws all this. Like every hit, like you see the chi
Yeah.
lin almost like it's coming out of them. I thought that was really cool setup.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then we kind of get a clue to what might be going here. Where I love that they start naming the attacks. That's like an
Yeah.
Iron Fist thing. I love that. We get the
Yeah.
angry Abex horns. And that kind of gives us a
Mm.
clue of what could be going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I love how he gives this. I'm a wrestling fan, and so this is called
Okay.
the Yakuza kick, where he kicks this little girl, and like literally kicks the chi lin out of her. Was it looks like? I love that. I think that's great.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I love the action here. I love grandma just using her knee, her feeble knees,
Hmm.
on Danny's head, on his jaw, and
So
really looking fierce here.
on the next page, like I said, we have the Yakuza kick, and then we get to the. I love the Swift Osprey claw because I love Will Osprey. He's a wrestler too. Which
Mm.
basically pushes Granny away from, I'm going to assume, the soul of the Chi-Lin.
Oh, the Ritalin, yeah.
Yeah, and then he turns around and catches her.
Catches her, yeah.
That makes me wonder, can he teleport? That's pretty
Oh,
fast.
well, Danny's very fast too. Like when he dodges bullets, he's very fast, and especially since he has new powers now. I think it's easier for him to do some stuff
Well,
that
that
he never used to be able to do.
for like, and I know like you've got to read into the action in a comic book. You're not
Hmm.
getting full scale movement, but that's what I kind of thought. I was like, man, he hit her, and while she's flying, he runs all the way to the other side to catch her. And I
Catch
was
her,
like,
yeah.
that's pretty fast. Can he teleport now? That was my thought. And I've got another example of
Hmm.
that later on that I'll bring out
Oh, okay.
that kind of makes me think that.
Hmm.
So, and I love this. And he's like, I got you. And he catches her. And I love this passerby. Yo, you
Yeah.
just kicked that family's ass. And in typical
That's true.
people fashion, I've got you on video freak because everybody's got a cell
Yeah,
phone
yeah.
now.
Hmm.
So,
Anything that happens that's weird, you
yeah.
gotta catch it. on Facebook Live
Yeah, that's very, very true. Or Instagram or
or
TikTok.
Instagram. Oh, and
So
TikTok. That's true.
yeah. Um, and then we go to the next page, which I think is very interesting. The
Mm,
one you're after is waiting for you there. He's ordered his
mm,
minions to slow you down. As we see the Rancourt Tower. Any clue who you
mm.
think that is?
Um, I actually really don't know this one. Um, it could be head of the Chilin, the one that's been after the egg all this time. So might be, but I have a feeling it's somebody familiar
That's what I
because why
think.
would they tease somebody that he's after and not naming that person or that creature? And it looks like we're gonna have to wait until the final issue to find out who that is.
See,
And I
so
like the fact that he's going to go through a gauntlet. He has to go through a gauntlet here, kind of like John Wick,
mhm.
um, in John Wick 4, where he has to reach that the stairs and go up it, and everybody's after him. So it
just
kind of feels
just
like
like
that,
the raid, like Jason Lowe had said,
just like the raid too. Yeah.
yeah. So Rand's Iron, our friend over on Twitter, he'd posted this like asking, who you thought this was. And my first thought was, okay, so we know we get Daredevil issue 2. We know we're getting
Hmm.
the Immortal Weapons issue 3. To
Yeah.
me, man, it's got to be like part of me thinks it's Davos. He hasn't been around,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
we know the machines there. So
Hmm.
I would assume that's why the Immortal Weapons have come because they've come through it to stop him. And who
Hmm.
better for Danny to face last than his arch nemesis?
Hmm. But why would they? Why would the immortal weapons stop Danny from going after
I
them?
think he's being manipulated.
Okay.
I think whoever
Mm-hmm.
has brought him back is manipulating him with the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, hey,
Okay.
here is the reason, like the whole lie that you've been told to about the Immortal Iron Fist.
Yeah.
And he's going to use that lie to manipulate them to get what they want. I'll get into more of that. I got a big theory that I've working
Okay.
on. I'll break on to you later on.
Sure. Sure.
So the action, it's fast, fierce. Like you said, he's got this gauntlet, and then we take this below the streets. And then the first pleasant surprise of this book shows up.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I did not expect Miles Morales. I'm glad they hid that.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. I didn't know it was going. There was going to be a guest star right off the bat. Um, and it felt kind of off a bit at first for me, because I didn't think it would be Miles who would be coming, appearing in his book in the first one. I'm okay with Luke. I understand if it was Misty or Colleen or Pay, but somebody from the Spider family, I didn't know that somebody like that would be coming over as a guest. But later in the next few pages, we find out, and then you realize why Jason Lu chose Miles Morales.
Good, and I think he did so for a very good reason.
Yeah,
One I didn't even
that's true.
think about honestly when he showed
Yeah,
up.
me too. True, true.
So I love this. Hey yo, where'd that ninja with the fiery hands that beat up that family go? So they
Hmm.
really push an issue like, oh, he just beat up a family because no one knows he's Iron Fist.
Yeah, yeah,
So
and people see the that family's faces look normal.
yeah, and this guy's just a beat. But you would have think that these people would have been like, man, they were kung fuing with him. Like that's not
Yeah,
normal. You know what I mean?
that's true. That's true.
So, but
That's
hey,
also something that, you can figure out that these people are normal. Granny with a
with the running knee
martial
to the
arts
face,
skills. Yes.
yeah.
But
But
it's old people.
but then again, it's also Marvel New York City where all types of crazy stuff happens too.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, it
What if
could
it's
be,
a superhero family?
yeah, exactly. So, and then you kind of get the first clue with the young woman that's part of the family, or maybe at this time, I wouldn't even. Now that I thought about it, this isn't that woman because he's here at the sewers, so they've kind of moved on from that part with the girl that Miles is holding up. Like she had to be possessed by a
Mm.
different demon. I didn't pick up on that till just right now.
Oh, you think so? Oh,
No, I
okay.
didn't pick up on that. But she says, "How did I get outside? What happened? You tell me. Where'd that masked dude run off to?" What masked dude? He really did a number on you. So that right there kind of gives us the idea that these people don't know nothing
No, no.
about being
Yeah.
possessed at all. Which is
Yeah, yeah.
kind of odd because with the original Qilin, I can't remember his servant's name, Shu Shing or whatever his name was, something like that.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
knew the entire
Zuchen.
thing. Yeah.
Zuchen.
Yeah. He knew the entire time he was possessed. Like he
Mm.
knew he was a vessel.
True.
Yeah. So I thought that was
Exactly,
kind of,
exactly.
I thought that was
It's
kind of,
very different, right?
yeah, an interesting choice. Like these people were just randomly possessed with no clue of what's going on.
Hmm. Yeah, these guys are very different. The Wraithlings, I think they operate differently from the Qilin.
So, but remember, they were once Cheelan, now they're Wraithlin. So,
Hmm.
and to me, there's got to be something about that, kind of like what I pointed
Yeah,
out. And it might not
yeah,
be that, but I'm assuming that Jason's got a reason for that.
yeah.
Um,
It's been Qilin for centuries.
yeah.
Why change now, right?
Mm-hmm. And then becomes my favorite panel of this whole book on the next page, where,
Mm,
where we get the
yeah.
dragon, where it looks like it's reaching out to him and he's crawling away from it. We get like him remembering like
Mm,
how Galactus draws each part of the mask on each side. I really love this image. I think this image is great.
yeah, yeah. Beautiful. And also, I also pointed out in my review, I like that it's also a nod to Roy Thomas's introduction to Iron Fist in the sense that he's got the current story running, and he has flashbacks as well. So seeing these flashbacks, it's like a flashback to when Iron Fist first appeared in
Mm-hmm.
Marvel Comics.
And one thing I always say on the podcast is I love a good flashback. Love a good flashback.
Yeah,
So, and
true.
like I said, the
Me
art
too.
on this panel, man, I love this
Yeah,
panel.
it's
It is
beautiful.
beautiful. So, because and like
Yeah.
I like how the dragon, there's not a lot of detail in it, and that's kind of one of the
Hmm.
things that might make me think it's some type of like phantom and not like a fully materialized dragon. And just him
Yeah.
with his eyes closed on the side with the mask, like he's remembering. He's kind of almost in a
Yeah.
way like maybe he's got a little bit of memory loss because in that opening page where you see him scratching the back of his head, like it's
Uh-huh.
all starting to come back to him.
Hmm.
So they take this
Yeah,
fight
there might
below.
be a memory lapse here. Yeah.
So we take this fight to the background, and this is where you really realize, like, hey, he is invisible in the beginning of this book as he's running through the
Hmm.
water. So Miles watches him, and then we get this. I love the color on this next page with the Venom Blast. I thought that
Yeah.
was really cool, and it's also very telling because Miles says, "Let's use the old Venom Blast to light up things down here." And when he does this, he sees the Qilin or the Wraithlins, and I thought that was
Mm.
really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. And I didn't. I wasn't sure where he used the venom blast. If it's on the water. If it's on the water, why isn't Danny getting electrocuted? Uh, so I think he may have used the the walls, I think here,
Yeah,
and the
if you look up on
floor,
the panel,
but not.
he's on the ceiling and he's electrocuting it, and
Mhm.
it's kind of flowing down.
Yes, slowing down. Yeah.
So, and I thought that was really cool that it revealed them to him because if you backtrack and you go up to and if you follow the flow of the book, so when
Hmm.
we see Danny jump to the sewers, there's a bunch of Qilin and people drawn in the background. We see a bunch of Qilin entering the tunnel. You don't know if they're human host or what because we're seeing it through Danny's POV in the
Yeah.
book. And then we see the page before all this. We see Danny. He's talking about his patron is. He says the tunnels will be soon flooded with his minions. almost like he's funneling them in there, which is smart. If you're wanting to fight off a horde of demons, you want to funnel them.
Mhm.
And then we see this next page, we see Miles and he sees all the splish splash of everybody running. He can't see anybody. So we know the
Yeah.
Chi Lin are not possessing anybody at this time. They're just invisible. And then he lights
Mhm.
them up with Venom Blast and it shows him their true form. And I thought that was a really cool way to reveal to
Yeah.
somebody that they couldn't see them until they basically electrocute them. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also maybe one of the reasons why Jason Lu chose Miles Morales to be
Mm-hmm.
here because of that power set.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I seen that. Besides
Mhm.
the obvious ties of like Misty Knight and everything like that. And I thought that was
Yeah.
really cool. And then the next page, it really kind of gives you Miles PvP or PvP. I'm thinking RPG
POV.
terms. Yeah, POV.
Yeah.
So we really see his, point of view where now he actually sees them
He sees
and
them, yeah.
yeah, and he doesn't even have to use them. And I thought that was pretty interesting too.
Mhm.
So
And
go ahead.
yeah, yeah, I was just thinking that he has no idea what he's up against and no idea that he can be used as a puppet.
Yes, and I thought that was
What he
really cool.
thinks.
And I don't read Miles at all.
Mm,
So I
me
don't
too.
think he's fought a lot of demons that I can think of, even through like major storylines of stuff that I read that he's in. Most of his
Mm,
stuff is very tied. Well, he's tied up in the Ultimates right now. Also, most of his
yeah,
stuff is very like city based.
yeah.
So I can't think of any time he's fought demons.
Demons, yeah, yeah. It's not, it's not his uh MO to be going after the mystical side, uh creatures. Uh, he could fight aliens, he could fight uh, street level villains, spider villains, but mystical characters, creatures, I don't remember any as well.
So and then as this continues on, we get more imagery of Dragon fighting Danny. And to me, this dragon looks far
Mm.
bigger in this panel than what it has.
And it was, yeah, before, yeah, really
So
big. And he's got his two horns. Um, does Xiao have horns? I don't
he's
remember.
got traditional Chinese like horns and not horns like this, if I'm
Not
right.
like this, right? Yeah.
So, um, and I think that is this the last time we see the dragon in this book? I think so. Again, with Immoral Iron Fist that I was reading, in that book, we see the I don't. I think it's just a mother of dragons who is
Hmm.
basically the very first in the line of Shao Lao the Undying, if I'm right. And I'm wondering if this is what this is.
The Mother of Dragons.
So yeah, it's in issue 5 or 6. Because when I
Mm.
seen that, I thought that's interesting, but because it flew away with Brenda Swanson on its back, which leads us
Oh
into
yeah,
eventually
I
Heart
remember
of
that.
the Dragon. Because yeah, this is the book. Here it is. I am Mara. Turns all the people into Qilin, which I completely forgot all about that.
Hmm.
Let's see here.
Is it a white dragon?
In the book, it's not. It's colored, but that book is colored very wildly because
Mm.
it's very anime, or I should
Yeah.
say manga, not really anime.
Mm.
Let me pull
Oh
this up
yeah,
here.
she's multicolored. Yeah, the
Yeah.
one that
Oh, do you see it now?
yeah, the
Yeah.
one that Brenda Swanson is riding on
But
is.
like, look at the wings. The wings look a little tattered.
Mm.
Maybe it's got the elongated horns out of the head.
Yeah.
So, and if the dragon, which the dragon is clearly alive here, but I mean, we know that Shalao is the kind of the symbol for death and rebirth with the Iron Fist because that's how you become
Hmm.
the Iron Fist. The dragon is always reborn, and that's
Hmm.
kind of where I went. Now the color isn't the same, but if the dragon has died at some point between this book and now, and say it's in the underworld, it could have a phantom like appearance.
Okay. Yeah. It
So
kind of looks looks like it may be uh Does it have a similar face? A little bit, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, you got different art styles there too, so not everything's going to
Yeah,
look the
you have
same.
to think about that too. Yeah, yeah.
So, but
Different
that's where my
artists.
mind went this morning before I got up and I was setting everything up. I was like, that might be, could possibly be, because I mean, look, Danny's look isn't the same.
Hmm.
So,
That's right.
we continue the book and we get to run through the sewers where Danny is basically, in my opinion, it looks like he's trying to save Miles from being possessed because Miles is
Yeah.
clearly looks like he's under, way over his head.
Mm,
And basically he's like, keep moving. Don't tell me what to do. Just trust me. Why would I trust you? I'm not your enemy. They're trying to possess you. I'm not here to play your game, punk. Or dude, is it? Yeah, it's dude.
dude, yeah.
Yeah. And then I love hearing the action. Like Miles doesn't even think like I don't to me it doesn't make sense. Like he sees Danny's fighting these demons. Why would you continue to
Mm.
try to fight this guy?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I wondered that too. I mean, he has to have a better reason for fighting Danny than just uh thinking that he thinks it's an illusion, or not trusting somebody that he doesn't know. I think he should have figured out that he's after these bad creatures that he just saw. I mean, if he's after these creatures, then it should make sense that he's one of the good guys.
But
But it doesn't seem that way to him.
but also in a way that's kind of like classic Bronze Age confusion for Marvel Comics too. Bringing a conflict
Oh
of
yeah,
two heroes together for obviously reasons they don't understand, and then they wind up on the same side.
yeah, always.
Yeah.
Uh, uh,
So
it's what fans want to see.
hero versus hero, man. That's why we got Civil War.
Mm,
So as our fight continues, and Miles tells him, "This is all one sick illusion," which you just mentioned, and I'm not falling with it. Danny charges up his fist. I don't have time for this. And basically, he does the punch. We get this burst, this
mm,
pulse wave of the purple
mm,
chi that's called
mm.
the Rays of Ra. What'd you think about that? Just the name of that move, the Rays of Ra.
Yeah. So when I saw Rays of Ra, there was um a nod to um probably somebody like Moon Knight. Because I remember from the Timeless #1 from 2 years ago, um, where it's a future timeline, it's a different timeline, and Danny got possessed by Khonshu. So they're Egyptian gods, and Ra is an Egyptian god. So I did a bit of a search for this. I even asked my son because he loves reading about these mythologies. So Ra is the sun god,
Mm-hmm.
and he's also like I think he's pretty much like um Zeus in Egyptian mythology, probably because he's the source of everyone, I
Yeah,
think.
he's the figurehead.
uh, he's the figurehead, he's like the Odin. So Ra. So what does a an Egyptian god have to do with Danny here, who should be from, it's like they're from different worlds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a merging of two worlds. So you don't know if we'll see Moon Knight somewhere down the line, maybe in the fourth issue or something, or this is just a different side of the Egyptian mythology that's come into the Iron Fist mythology to do something. So maybe Ra is the reason why Danny's the way he is. We'll see.
So see, I dug a lot into that because obviously Ra, you have to associate that with Egyptian mythology. We
Mm-hmm.
have the bird of prey, which an eagle, could be a
Mm-hmm.
falcon, could be a hawk, which the falcon is very prevalent in Egyptian mythology.
Okay. Yeah.
So what I was thinking is is this an Egyptian god? Is this Khonshu? Because to me, that would
Mm,
be the, like you mentioned, we go to Timeless 23, how he had possessed Danny. He was the
mm,
immortal Moon Knight. And I made all them connections. And I kind of
mm,
thought the same thing. So, and then we get to the bottom of this panel, because I love this whole
mm.
page. This page is great. Use your
Yeah.
new powers wisely. You're burning too quickly. You've been granted limited energy to complete your mission. And in the opening page of the book, we seen this flag with the
Yeah.
symbol of Shalal burning. And as soon as I was like, he's Spawn.
Yeah.
He is
He
Spawn.
spawned exactly. My thoughts
Uh,
went there too. And then I don't know if he's Jason Lu's a big fan of Spawn,
mm-hmm.
but this is exactly what Spawn went through in the first issue.
Yes, and I mean what he's been. I think it was around 300 when his timer was finally out. Now he's just got unlimited power, because that's when I started
Mm,
picking Spawn back up. I didn't get much further into it, but yeah, now the counter is gone. Because I remember for the longest time, because Spawn
mm,
come out when I really started reading comics when I was younger. Probably should have been reading Spawn, but because we always had that timer in every book, and you never knew what it
every issue,
was.
yeah,
Yeah, you never knew what it was. You just knew there was numbers on it. But yeah, when I seen this, as a first thing I thought was, I was like, he is, which gives you a sense of urgency for the rest of the issues. It makes you
exactly.
wonder, come at the finale of this issue, what's going to happen.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, is he gonna use up his powers? Is it is he able to finish his mission on time? And what happens when he uses up his powers?
So, and that's kind of where we get an idea of like his chi is sending all these wraithlings to hell, as
Yeah,
Miles is
and
like,
they're gone.
whoa, yeah, what did you just do? Which tells me that every time when he used this chi, it actually hurt Miles as well, because it seems like he felt it. And
Mm,
Danny tells him, I delivered him to hell as a friend of Misty's. Trust me when I say stay out of the way. And he said, Misty,
yeah.
how do you know? And I thought that was really
Mm,
cool. Where did he go?
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. Because these days he's being trained by Misty,
mm-hmm,
and that's when I realized why he became a guest star in the first issue.
to make that
So
connection.
that might be our first clue, or at least a teaser for us that Misty may be appearing in one of the next few issues.
So, and I think at some point, Luke's making that phone call to her. Like
Oh
immediately, you
yeah,
would think so.
for
She would
sure.
have, yeah. So
Yeah.
at the time of this, unless this part of the story is going on when Luke visits the grave, because they could be happening simultaneously. Because like
Hmm.
as soon as Luke sees us, he's calling Misty, he's calling Colleen, he's calling Jessica, he's calling everybody. He's probably giving a
Yeah.
call to Matt, and maybe that's why Daredevil shows up in the next issue.
In this next issue, yeah. Look for Danny.
Yeah, like, hey, he's running around. And obviously, I don't think Miles has ever had any interaction with Danny that I'm aware of
Yeah,
off the
me
top
too.
of my head.
I don't
So, it
remember
would
any.
make sense that he wouldn't make a connection with his mask or anything, even though it's not his traditional mask. I think most
Mm,
people that know Danny would see that, might make the connection. I say that, but we see the cover to issue 2 of Daredevil and him fighting each other.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, that right there lets you know, and maybe this enemy, if that's at Rancorp, because I keep saying that I think he's being manipulated, might be Colleen and Misty and whatnot. Because who says if he's being manipulated, he's not seeing them as Wraithlings?
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. There might be something to that. I'm also thinking it might be somebody from Kunlun. So other than Davos, um, what if it's UT Nuan reborn or something?
Ooh, I can see that. I can see
Yeah,
that. I mean, who else would want some revenge there?
yeah, because after he was ousted and stuff. So
Yeah, because I
who?
think once he escaped, I don't think we've seen him ever again, have we?
Yeah, well, so after the revolution in Immortal Iron Fist by Brubaker, Fraction, and Aha. we actually see Nuwan, the UT, in Avengers versus X-Men, and it looks like he's still the one in charge. So I don't know if Bendis didn't read through
Yeah, I did
Immortal
not
Iron Fist,
think about
but
that
he
at
was
all.
there, and it was like nothing happened
So,
uh, from a few years back.
y-
So
y- go ahead.
I'm not sure if he just messed up there, but I think he did. And you need a writer to actually fix this up. My thinking, my in my head canon, my thinking is that when the Avengers and X-Men group with Hope went to Kunlun, is that they went to Kunlun back in time, because that's the only time that new one is still the UT of
So,
Kunlun, in
yeah.
order just to be able to know what he knows about a Phoenix who's also an Iron Fist. So you have to go back in time to when he was still the head, because you might not be able to get the answers from new one at the present, because he's not going to be cooperative. So that's just in my head canon. It's not in 616 universe canon.
You say I didn't even think about that, and I just did all the Fong Ji Woo stuff, which comes out after this. I've already got it recorded, and
Okay.
I didn't even think about that because
Yeah, it's so
Avengers
weird.
versus X Men is
Yeah.
5, 6 years after Mortal Iron Fist.
No, it
So
was just um
because Mortal Iron Fist ended about
oh
2009, and Avengers vs X Men is
yeah, 2009.
2012.
Oh, is it
So
2012? I thought it
yeah,
was
yeah, it's
2010.
quite a few,
Yeah,
but
3 years. Yeah.
even then, that's
Even
still a
then, yeah.
long time because I mean,
Yeah.
if you think about when comics are made, usually comics are written usually like a year in advance, and
Yeah.
you would think that somebody as prolific as Bendis and all that, and
Bendis, yeah.
and yeah, and AVX is also written by a bunch of different people, but I
Mm.
think he did he was writing New Avengers at the time because I'm
Yeah,
going
he was
to
the one who wrote that. Yeah.
yeah, because I'm looking that up right now. But yeah, you figured he would know that. I never thought
He
about that
should
till
have.
you just said it.
He
So
should have known that. I don't know what happened there, but he should have known. And even the editor should have known that.
yeah, right. Yeah, that's like bad editing. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm looking through everybody. Yeah, it's considered. Yeah, you are completely right. I never thought about that. Wow,
Mhm.
you just opened my eyes to something. Um, hey, we're here to
Yeah,
talk about. It's about lies, right? This is what the story's
mm,
about. He's about to uncover lies. So,
yeah.
man, let me find my page back with the book. You just kind of threw me for a loop there. I didn't even think. I never put that together at all.
Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh.
So,
Yeah.
and I guess that's also the issue with having a character that constantly doesn't have issues coming out at the same time too.
Mm,
Because during that new Avengers run, that's all Danny had. He didn't have a solo book at the time.
yeah, yeah. He didn't.
So,
Yeah.
because I talk about that in the episode when it comes out. So, because I thought it was really cool that those issues of New Avengers 25, 26, 27,
Mm,
outside of 27, because the first half of 27 is wraps up the Fong Ji Woo story. Like, I thought that was really cool that all those issues were dedicated to an Iron Fist that we didn't even know.
yeah,
So,
that's
and
right.
because there was no ongoing Iron Fist series at the time.
Yeah,
So,
and I love the artwork by Mike Deodato
oh
Jr.
yes, man, and the
Really
colors he
beautiful.
uses beautiful.
I'm just glad we get an Iron Fist artwork from Deodato. It's
Yes,
so
yeah.
super good.
I talk about that art a lot in that episode with the coloring when she's getting the chi of the
Oh
phoenix and the
yeah.
dragon. Yeah, I love it.
Oh yeah, so good.
So we continue these next couple pages where he's running up and down a
Mm,
apartment, and we're getting more of the named attacks, which are all most for the most part African animals, which kind of ties
mm,
more up into the Egyptian part of the rays of
yeah,
Ra, and I thought that was really cool. Now, what I
yeah.
thought was interesting, and I don't know if this is just a color choice, here, but like
Mm-hmm.
when he's dispelling the wraithlings from these people, they're red. And in the beginning of the book, I don't think they were red at all. Because when he was
Mm-hmm.
hitting them, it's almost like they were, well, yeah, some of them are, and then some of them glow purple with his chi when he
Mm-hmm.
hits them. If it is chi, I'm assuming that it's chi.
Yeah, yeah. It's a
So
different kind of chi, I guess. Yeah.
yes, and then we're wrapping up the story. We get to the second to last page. He's on the rooftop of this apartment. He's staring at the Rand Corporation tower. We get down to the bottom of the page. He's climbing up. He's like, "What?" He seems confused. Someone lends a hand, and then we get the pleasant surprise of
Mm-hmm.
Orson Randall there.
Yeah.
Was you shocked to see him in this issue, or was you expecting that later on?
I was expecting to see him in the first issue because Taurine Clark already teased him in his variant cover.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a surprise, but it's a pleasant revelation nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
Just seeing him there, but I knew that he was coming. He was going to be appearing here. I just didn't know if it was going to be a flashback or if it was going to be in present day. So, in a sense, it's a present day flashback kind of thing. So it's not like we're looking at Orson Randall's past. We're seeing him interact with Danny, a new interaction between them. Not like, this was from way back in Immortal Iron Fist. So it's good that we're going to see him again. He's one of the uh, favorites from that run. And so who knows? Maybe at the end of this, we see him alive as
So
well.
I'm going to throw this out to you. What if it's
Hmm.
him that this book is about?
Hmm.
Because
Okay.
he would be aware of Misty. I would assume
Hmm.
that Danny would have told him about his life, before he had died at the hands
Hmm.
of Davos. And that
Yeah.
was the one thing that I thought. I was like, what if it's him that's in this book? Because we had
Yeah.
the cover where it showed Danny's face and it's all
Hmm.
ate up with the energy. It's like the Black Skull, the
Yeah.
Philip Tan cover, right?
Yes.
And then but in this book we don't ever see any of that. So
Mm-hmm.
there was a part of me that thought, what if this is him? And
That
it's
it's Orson's not really Danny who's under the mask. Yeah.
yeah, because even though Danny, like I'd mentioned, Danny doesn't, him and Miles hasn't had any interactions. Like
Mm.
he you think he would be aware of who Miles is, and
Mm. Oh,
the
yeah.
aggressiveness that is shown with Iron Fist in that scene, like how aggressive he is with trying to fight everything off. Like when I got to this point, I was like, what if this is him? And that's kind of the reason for the full mask, so you cannot see his face.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I thought that would be
I
a neat little twist.
yeah. If it was Orson, I thought about that too. What if it was Orson under the mask there? Um, and I was thinking also that he would know about Misty, but he wouldn't know that that Misty was working with Miles, right? Unless Danny tells him
Well, there was no
their
Miles at that,
interactions before.
but there was no Miles at the time of Immortal Iron Fist either.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, what if Danny, during this underworld adventure that the two of them
Oh
are going to
yeah,
have,
okay.
what if he tells Orson about Misty and Miles working together, and maybe, you know, tell Misty or tell, anybody that he sees that he wants to say hi to Misty or something.
Or
Uh,
tell him who his allies is he could trust.
Yeah, the allies that he can trust, the ones that he should be looking for, and if he's familiar in any way, and he recognizes Miles, from the costume, so it might still be Orson. It would be a very interesting twist, but I still want it to be Danny,
Yeah, that's what I
regardless.
want to. I don't
Yeah,
think it is, but I thought that would be an interesting choice. I do think it's an
yeah.
interesting choice that he is drawn with a muscle shirt on while in the underworld.
Yes,
I thought
yes,
that was
that's
kind of
true.
funny.
Hey, where did you pick it up? No,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Well, and it fits him too, because I mean, you could tell he still got like his military pants on and everything.
yes, yes, it
So I
is.
guess
Well,
maybe in
I
the
mean,
I mean, I guess in your afterlife, you come into the afterlife dressed how you want to be.
Uh, maybe he wants to look like this the whole time.
Overall, what'd you think about the issue?
I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. I would say an 8 out of 10. It's just super fast. It's super fast read. I think I mentioned I read it in about 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah, same.
Um, I, I think it's a very fast read, and because it's a very fast read, it left me wanting more, and I want to read some more. I want a few more dialogue in here. I need the uh, you know, I'm from the 80s. I read comics. I'm not a very fast reader like you. It would take me about 20 minutes, I think, to read a comic book back then,
Oh, I
because
agree.
I
Yeah,
would enjoy the artwork as well. And then there's a lot of text in there for me to read. So, and also when you read Immortal Iron Fist, which was just, almost 20 years ago, um, you would have to take some time before you finish a book. So that's my only real gripe about this. But otherwise, it's pretty enjoyable. I even mentioned to Jason Lu in his on Threads, because he replied to one of my messages that I read it, and that I reviewed it. I said that I can tell when a writer honors and respects a character, and I think that's what he did here. So
I agree.
kudos to Jason Lu for doing that. I love the artwork. Um, Fran Galan, I think, is a very good choice for this issue. For this entire series. So just seeing a different style, different way of drawing Danny and his world is a very nice, very fresh take, very fluid fights. The panels, the design of the panels, I loved it, and I think it's a good start. I just hope that the pace picks up once we get to issue two, because we only have 3 issues left. So I hope that the pace picks up, but I hope the dialogue, there's more captions to read, more dialogue between characters. Um, I want to know what's in the mind of the characters. Like, for example, Daredevil. I want Daredevil to talk. I want him to say something if he finds out that it's Danny. So I want that interaction. So if it's going to be just 4 issues, so give me everything that you've got.
See, now I didn't mind the fast pace of this because,
Uh-huh.
like you said, it is like the raid. The raid is a
Yeah.
very fast pace in the beginning, but then once it slows down, and
Yeah.
you get a lot more dialogue between the characters. And I could see that here in the beginning because, like I had
Hmm.
brought up, he doesn't know Miles. No need to really talk to Miles. But I
Yeah.
could see after this where it does slow down because, like you mentioned, you want to know what Matt's thinking. It's a character he has a long history with. I mean, Danny
Yeah.
posed as Daredevil while he was in prison,
Mm.
right before
Yeah.
the Immortal Iron Fist run. So I could see where this issue is meant to be fast paced because technically we know he's losing his powers, so he's going
Hmm.
to be in a rush. But now
Yes.
he's going to be incorporating with characters that he's very familiar with, very close allies, and I can see where that's going to slow down now.
Yeah.
And he's going to get more dialogue, and it also might become a problem with him if he's on a time limit.
Yeah. 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 He has to rush through things too.
So the big thing is, what do you think's going on? What's your guess here? Even though you know the branding on the chest, without
Hmm.
giving anything away, what do you think's going on? What's your guess about after reading issue one?
Honestly, I just think that there's just um, a, the head of the Chilin, but I want to know if the head of the Chilin is actually UT himself. Because we know that the Chilin wants the egg. He's not getting it over the centuries now. and you have to wonder if it's UT behind all of it. Um, I think it might be him. It might be somebody else, but he may have allied himself with a couple of other characters from Iron Fist mythology, or maybe, and also from Egyptian mythology, maybe with Ra, because he's lost his connection with the Kunlun because of his sins, and so he needs a new ally. So it could be sorry, not Ra. Maybe one of the Egyptian
like
gods.
Khonshu.
Maybe, yeah, maybe Khonshu. Uh, and Ra may be uh, dealing with a rebel god here who's using QT to get the Iron Fist or something. So I'm not exactly sure. I haven't really fleshed out what my thoughts are. So it could be somebody from that Danny knows, who's really after him and really after the Kunlun again. Whether he wants to uh, take down Danny himself, or if he has a bigger uh, fish to fry, whether he really wants Kunlun for himself or something. So that's something that needs to be cleared up later on. Maybe we'll find out in the next few issues. Maybe it might be a big reveal in the fourth issue. So that's all I'm thinking from what we've seen so far. There's so much that you can get from just a few theses here and there, but they're all scattered, and you don't know how to piece them together. So I just hope we get Orson. Uh, I honestly want Orson Randall back
I think we all
alive.
do. Yeah.
Honestly,
Do you think you're going to see Lynn and Pay in this series?
it's only 3 issues left. I hope we get them. I'm not sure we will, but since Jason Liu already wrote the 50th anniversary special, and he mentioned that there was a distraction for Pei and
Mm-hmm.
Lin Lee, so he can just so the Chilin can get to Danny. So knowing that he knows Lin Lee and Pei, that they exist, that he's part of Danny's world, I think we will see them at some point. It might be in the fourth issue. I have a feeling we won't be seeing them in the second and the third one.
Honestly, I think there's a lot that's going to take place after this series. I think this is just the beginning.
That's true. Yeah, me too.
So what I think is happening, and I've mentioned it, like I think he's being manipulated. I
Mm,
think they're
yeah.
going to tie all this into Lin Lee's story with
Okay.
Chi Yu. And here's what I think's happened. I think that he is being manipulated by Lin Fong, Lee's brother, because he has
Ah,
to open
I
the
see.
final resting place of Chi Yu, which is in Kunlun, and that's the last
Yeah.
time we've seen Kunlun.
And they
Is
haven't
they haven't touched on any of that.
yeah. They haven't it's still a hanging thread. They haven't done anything with it. It's like Kunlun's still in ruins. So
Mm-hmm. And here's and now and then here's the thing: like if Kunlun we have all this going on, like
mm.
the mortal weapons. We know that man, who's the inventor? Was it Fong Shu, the old short guy who worked on the Randall machine?
Oh, Fu?
Fu, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Because we know that he had set it up where you could go to everywhere else in
Yeah.
the world of Iron Fist outside of Kunlun. So that would make sense why the mortal weapons are there. Because knowing what's
Mm,
going on, he could go get them. I'm I don't remember if it's Heart of the Dragon
mhm.
or Lynn's story with I think it's volume 6 that Lynn becomes Iron Fist. Because I remember Danny saying all the gates to Kunlun were closed, and this was after the whole Lin Fong thing when he had gotten there. So what I think's doing is I think Lin Fong is manipulating Danny with the truth. Hey, here's the truth of the Iron Fist. And he's
Okay.
manipulating him to come to Kunlun so he can
You can go
open the
there.
gate to release Chi
Yeah.
Yu. Have you ever read the Black Knight issue for King in Black?
No, no, I never got to read
Okay,
that.
so Noel is basically he's in the head of Whitman, telling him about the Ebon Blade and how the Ebon Blade is tied to this, and he is talking about how Chi Yu, because Lin is there. Lin is in this book, and he's in Lin's head, and he's talking about how Chi Yu is one of the is an elder shadow dressed in local lore. And when he tells him this, we get this. It's this awesome splash page. If you have Marvel Unlimited, look this up. It's beautiful. And so we see the Chi Yu staring down at them, and then the rest of the elder shadows. He doesn't name them, but they're in the artwork. So it's Khonshu, we see a lot of Egyptian lore going on. It's
Oh,
uh,
okay.
it's it's Sidorak who controls the Juggernaut, and it's
Mm,
Shuma Garath. And
mm,
then if you look in Egyptian lore, let me see if I still have this pulled up on my page in my web on my web browser so I can read this. Because at first I thought maybe this was Khonshu, kind of like you did with the Timeless 23 issue and whatnot. Oh man, where did
yeah.
this go? Let me find this. I just lost it. Okay. So in the Hannibal hymn of the Eunice Pyramid, Khonshu is named as a member of a group of demons composed of three unknown entities whose names can be translated, and I won't go into that, as well as a god, Shizmu, or however they were pronounced that in Egyptian lore. So we have
Mm,
Chiyu, Sidorak, Khonshu, Shumagrath, and Noah would make five if you want to tie that to Egyptian mythology. And he said that they're all dressed as elder shadows from the
mm,
cosmos, posing as gods. And I thought when I read that, I thought that was pretty interesting. So that would explain some of
yeah.
the Egyptian power. Because if Khonshu and the rest of these elder gods or shadows are free except for Chi, we know Noel is returning. So I'm wondering if Lin Fong is in league with not just Chi, but he realizes these other elder shadows are all tied with him and they're going to help him awake them by manipulating Danny. Because the eye in the middle of his brain on his chest, like when I
Mm,
read that, because I went back, I was like, hold up. Like you could see where maybe that would be like a Shuma Garath in a way, the way it spreads out. The falcon
uh,
arm is very Egyptian, or the eagle. Um,
yeah.
I mean the rays of rot. So I could see where maybe he's
Mm,
drawing or he's using illusions to manipulate Danny based on all these elder
ah,
shadows. And he's like,
okay.
hey, here's the
Very
truth of
interesting.
here's the truth of the Iron Fist. This is
What
what
is that? Black Knight?
Black Knight. It's during King in Black. It's a one issue book, and it's very
Okay.
important to Lin Lee's story because it explains all that. Yeah, read that.
Interesting. I didn't even know there was a Lindley story outside of Sword Master,
Agents of Atlas and whatnot. It's one
Agents
of
of Atlas.
He's
Yeah.
also in the well. Did you ever read the book War of the Sword Shadows? It's in White Fox, Death of Doctor Strange.
No, I didn't get to read that.
Yeah,
But
that's
that's the
where
one where the sword was broken,
it was
right?
broken. Yeah, those two issues is what I was reading after this issue because
Mm,
that's what got me thinking about stuff. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting that they're all shadow elders dressed in local lore, which the Chichiyu is one of them. And that's Khonshu in the underworld is part of, five other demons, which there's five in that image. Khonshu's also one of his things is to steal the power of gods, and this is in lore, to give them to the Pharaoh, which if you go back to the Age of Khonshu and the Avengers run, that's what Moon Knight did. He was taking basically the powers
mm,
of gods, giving them to
yes.
Khonshu. So there's
Yeah,
a part of
yeah.
the lore. If you, to me, in my opinion, Danny looks a lot like the ninjas in the Hour of the Dragon series. He's got all the wraps on his arms, on one of his arms, on his legs. He's dressed very similar to those ninjas. And I don't remember
Mm.
who points it out in that book, but someone's like, "Oh, they're zombie ninjas." So they're like, "No, they're not zombies. They're very intelligent," which is what we get with Danny. I think this a lot of this is tied to the eighth city and Lin Fong
Yeah,
needing to open that gateway up to release Chi because he's already got two of them, and the final one is in Kunlun, and I think the Iron Fist are the only ways that that can be opened, kind of like how it took all the immortal weapons to open the gate to the eighth city. I think
yeah.
that an Iron Fist is what is needed to open up the tomb to
Open it.
Chilid and
Yeah.
Kunlun, and he's being manipulated into doing it by learning the truth.
Oh, very interesting.
That's what
That's
I think's going
you
on.
know, that's the writer in you going through all of these things.
Thank you. Yes,
Yeah, making the connection between Black Knight, of all places,
I
Black
write
Knight.
just Black Knight, man. Read that story, and it's a double page spread. It's a double splash,
Okay.
and the art in it is awesome. And like I said, because you got Whitman and like Noel's kind of like wrapped around him, like in his face. He's got the ebon blade, and he's talking about it. And then you see Chiyu, Khonshu. Well, it's Chiyu. That I think it's Sidorak, Khonshu, and then Shuma Garath. And then when I read that about the lore, I was like, that's really interesting that he in lore there's Khonshu with four other demons, and in that page there's Khonshu and four other elder shadows, as Noel calls them. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But yeah, I think he's being manipulated into opening up the tomb of Chiyu so Lin
Mm,
Fong can do that because
yeah,
they've got
yeah.
to wrap all this up. We know it's all tied together.
Yeah, they have to.
So I think that there's a lot more that's going to go on after this issue, and I think Danny might be gone after this issue, but I think that it's going to work its way into that story, and I think at some point Danny is going to come back.
Okay. So you think he's gonna come back after the fourth issue,
No,
or
I think
he's
he's
gonna come
probably
back
going to
in another
perish.
one?
I think he's going to perish at the end of this,
Okay,
and
okay.
he'll learn the truth, or he'll
Mm-hmm.
do the unthinkable and actually maybe get to Kunlun and open up the gateway for
Mm,
Lin Fong. And then I think like we're going to get a bunch more after that because there's so much of that that needs to be told. And I think just this
mm.
4-part miniseries is the beginning of that.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, yeah, it could be. It could be. So it's going to just open up everything for a new series
Mm-hmm.
to start maybe next year.
Yeah, I could
So
see that next year.
I hope it's true. I hope we get that kind of a payoff after the four issues here, because really we need a new ongoing series for that.
I agree.
Uh,
And like, I know people, not a lot of people big on Lindley. I like Lindley, but
mhm,
he's still an
true.
Iron Fist. I want to
Mhm,
see that
mm,
story, and I want like they need to treat the Iron Fist like they treat the Bat family. You got Lynn, you got Pei, and you got
yeah,
Danny. There's
yeah,
no reason why they all can't coexist.
yeah. There's also Victor Alvarez, who's
Oh, the Power
sort of
Man, yeah.
kind of part of the family.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the immortal weapons. You've got Misty and Colleen's part of the family. There's
I mean,
Luke
like,
and Jessica.
why can't we get a Power Man Iron Fist book that is Victor and Lee? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Why can't we
yeah.
have that? You know?
That's also going to be very nice. I mean, we can have that Power Man and Iron Fist with the kiddos,
Mm-hmm.
and we have Danny in his own book. But if Danny's going to be in his own book, I want a regular appearance by Colleen and Misty.
Yes.
And then Luke will come in, and a little later on. I just want to see the dynamics between those three characters, like it was before. And then Luke and Jessica can come in and appear in in a couple of issues. But it's still going to be basically Danny's book.
So
And I just want the Daughters of the Dragon somehow, some way, somewhere. They don't have their own title, but I want them somewhere.
we need a Heroes for Hire series.
Yes, we do.
Now you was talking about that and made me think about something. Think about how this is going to affect Luke Cage as the mayor if it gets
Mm,
out that his former dead friend Danny Rand came back to life and wreaked
mhm.
all this havoc. And he might not be mayor after this.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's their excuse to get him out of
Hey, I could see it, man.
yeah, and get him back to being a superhero again.
So, because they're in the gang war, he was real particular about what he had to do. He's like, "Hey, I'm mayor."
Yeah,
He put the
yeah, to
disguise
hide
on.
himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I could see where this, like, because he's going to get involved in this some way. He has to.
Oh yeah,
Like
for
to,
sure,
to,
for
to
sure.
me, him, Misty, and Colleen are the three people that have to be involved in this story at some point.
Yeah. Yes, yes. I'd be disappointed if we don't see those three people. I mean, we've seen Luke already, but we want to see him interact with Danny at some point.
Yeah, yeah, just to see his face and everything. If his face truly looks like the Philip Tan cover,
Mm,
like to me, that's
mm.
very important. And to see Misty's reaction to that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she's with Sam
Yeah,
now,
she's with Sam.
but regardless, I'm sure she's going to want to see Danny.
Yeah, you got to think that she would. So we'll go ahead. We'll wrap this episode up.
Mhm.
Any final words, final thoughts on Immortal? There I went again. Undead Iron Fist #1.
Okay, I just want I just want to read the next issue. Very excited for the series. The thing is, this is the probably the best Iron Fist book we've had so far in so many years. I think after Heart of the Dragon really broke our heart. Um, Iron Fist with Linley was Linley's story, but the first Danny Rand story that uh, I got really excited reading, and it didn't disappoint. I just want to see where this leads in the next issues. I want to see more from Fran Galan.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see. I mean, because artists become more when artists become more familiar with the character that they're drawing, they tend to get better at it. And so this is I want to see his progression from here also, art wise. So as Jason Lewis building up his story, I'd like to see where Fran Galan's art gets to once we reach the fourth issue, because I think he's going to be really good in drawing Iron Fist here by then.
And I want to see him draw just Danny in the classic costume at some point too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So,
I want to see that. Or, maybe he's going to have a new costume too
oh yeah, I
after
mean,
this.
we've only had a
So who
ton of them.
knows?
So, we're
Yeah.
gonna wrap this up. Omar, want again plug all your stuff, the blog, the podcast, let everybody know.
Yeah. Okay. So again, you can find me at IamIronFist.com, where my blog is. So I've got lots of content there for Iron Fist fans. I've got creator interviews, reviews about certain issues that came out. Some really fun stuff like Iron Fist corner boxes. If you're interested in corner boxes, I have the 50 greatest Iron Fist covers. If you're
Mm-hmm.
interested in those things, so I wrote about that. Of course, they're all my opinion. You can come up with your own 50, but that's my 50. 10 greatest Iron Fist writers, 10 greatest I did I write about writers? I think artists. I can't remember if I wrote about the writers, but I did a post about that. But that's some of the stuff that you can read from there. And then from socials, I have at I am Iron Fist or at I am Iron Fist 23, Facebook, Threads, Instagram, and X or Twitter. And then I'm part of a podcast group, so it's the Immortal Iron Fist podcast, Sons of the Dragon. I'm with at least three people in a blog, in the podcast. So the great thing about that is we're from different parts of the world. I'm from the Philippines, one's from Australia, one's from the UK, and the others, two of them are in the US. So
So,
it's a really fun group to be with. So
uh,
thanks, Justin. Thanks for inviting me.
hey, no problem, man. Like I said, I was really wanting this to happen. I couldn't think of anybody better to do this episode with.
Thank
So,
you. It was
man,
great being here.
I'm not going to spill my stuff. If you listen to the podcast, you already know all that stuff. You can also look through any of my feeds. I'm always sharing Omar's blogs on all my stuff. So that's another way if you're looking for him to find him. But more importantly, and I asked about this months ago, and now it's in the back of this book, write the letter column. Let
Yeah.
people know that you want more Danny Rand, that you want Iron Fist. And you can email them at mheroes@marvel.com. Jason Lowe's already said that he wants that. He's wanting a column. I know I've wrote.
Hmm.
I know Omar's wrote.
Yeah.
Write those letters in, guys. But most importantly, support your local comic book shops. Keep reading comics, guys.